All right, so it's the end of the year again, so it's time for me to basically do a recording where I talk about all the games I played this year. And, I had an interesting lineup. So obviously with the Switch 2 release, it's been interesting. But I'm also just working on games that I've been wanting to play for a while. So first of all, we have Mario Kart Super Circuit. So this is one that I ended up liking a lot more than I thought I would, because you look at the gameplay and it just looks like basically Super Mario Kart again. But no, I like the physics a lot better. I like how the coin system is implemented. I like how, just the physics feel. It really does feel like a better Super Mario Kart. And I like the track design. There's basically almost nothing I dislike about it apart from like the ranking system, but that's just so goofy that I actually don't get too mad about it. But otherwise, yeah, this was a pleasant surprise and a great way to start off the year. Obviously, I played it intending to make that video with ranking every Mario Kart track, but it ended up just being a great excuse just to play the game and have some fun with it. Even after that video was done, I went back and just played it some more. So yeah, pleasant surprise. The second one is a collection of 3 games. It's the Ace Attorney trilogy, and this is one that I've been due to play for a long time. I started with Spirit of Justice and then went on to Dual Destinies a few years ago. And then obviously I talked about the Great Ace Attorney a couple years ago as well. So fantastic games. And the original trilogy just did not disappoint. I really liked the special episode in the first game with like the DS controls or whatever. I played it on the Switch, but still, that was a really memorable case and one of my favorites. It was just such a crazy story that I was really stumped the entire time. The Ace Attorney series is just so good at keeping me guessing on how things are going to end. I really like its format. It's such an addicting formula. And so basically the only 2 games I have left now are Apollo Justice and the Professor Layton crossover, assuming that ever gets ported because it's stuck on the 3DS now and, oh well. Next up is Monkey Ball Step and Roll. So again, this is for a video, but I intended to play this and have it out by like the middle of the summer or whatever. It just took a lot longer. I had some difficulties with the balance board because I never actually had one. So I had to get one, and that ended up being broken when I got it. So I had to go and buy another one. And so that was a difficulty. And then also just the controls in that game are just so frustrating. But I suppose the good news is that I got some good times out of it with some friends. That was... I originally didn't intend to do a bonus video for that Step and Roll review, but I just had so much fun, and looking back, yeah, like that video was really fun. Just had some great moments with them. So that was definitely one of the most memorable games this year. I also played Mario Kart World. My life was super busy at the time when this came out, so I didn't get to play it as much as I liked consistently. And then by the time I did, the hype cycle was kind of waning. I wasn't like super involved in the discourse of Mario Kart World, but even as I was playing it, it was a little disappointing, I'll be honest. The Knockout Tour was fantastic, but it was just that the battle mode was pretty lackluster, which is confusing because they did a good job in 8 Deluxe, so I don't know what happened there. And then the Grand Prix, it was okay. The main problem is the tracks are just kind of in this open world, so they can't get as wacky, and I really do feel like it kind of hindered their potential. And then, outside of Knockout Tour, the open world is just kind of there. I messed around for a few hours. I unlocked mirror mode, but otherwise, it was just unfortunate that it was a little bit of a letdown after 8 Deluxe, and I know it was never going to live up with like the 96 tracks, but downgrading just to 30, and then you have just kind of a bunch of empty space between those tracks, it just didn't satiate me the way that I was expecting it to. Who knows? Maybe they could fix it with DLC, but I have the suspicion, and obviously I don't have the greatest track record when it comes to Mario Kart, but I just have this feeling that they aren't really planning on making a ton of DLC for it. Because, like, you'd have to add a bunch of stuff into the open world, and I don't know. It's just, I just get the feeling that they just don't plan on doing a whole lot with it. But here's hoping. Next up is Metroid Zero Mission. It had been a while since I had played a Metroid game, and I just felt like going through the series chronologically. So yeah, I started out with Zero Mission on NSO, and I had a great time. Like, it was like playing Super Metroid for the first time all over again. Like, the map is great. I had a fun time just figuring out how to get around. I do think I need to pull up a tutorial like 1 or 2 times again, but I almost feel like that's just par for the course with Metroid, as I'll talk about in a bit. But yeah, it was a great time, and that surprise sequence at the end, fantastic. Did not expect that, came out of nowhere, and it was just really fun just to sneak around so you can get your suit back and then just, you know, pound your way through everything, you know, as you try to escape one final time. So yeah, that was a great time. Next up was Donkey Kong Bonanza. And this one's an interesting one because everyone was saying, like, this game is a masterpiece. I originally looked at the trailer and was like, yeah, it looks fine. You know, I wasn't super enthralled by it or anything. But so many people were saying it's game of the year. You know, so many people were saying it's this amazing experience that I ended up picking it up. And yeah, it was fine. You know, as someone who didn't think Mario Odyssey was a peak of the series, it reminded me a lot of Odyssey. You know, it obviously has that same formula where, like, you're running around in a sandbox environment, and then you go into the doors and do the challenges. And in my opinion, I just want to do the challenges. Like, I did not really care that much about the sandbox. I could take it or leave it, honestly. The sequences were fun in it, you know, where, like, I remember the one where you're diving into the cave because, like, you're in this underground layer where it's always raining and you need to fix that. I don't even remember what I need to do that. I think I need to get, like, records so I could turn into an elephant, and then go underground again, just to, like, you know, clear a path through lava. But, like, I don't know, like, each layer is just kind of like, it's kind of hard to remember what I did or even what all the layers were. Whereas, I don't know, maybe it's just because of nostalgia, but I can name so many galaxies in Mario Galaxy 1 or even 2, whereas each layer just kind of, you're just doing the same thing. You're fighting, like, the whatever mining corporation. You're just going deeper and deeper. And the Bonanza transformations are fun, but a lot of them don't see use outside of their original layer. The elephant one gets used in the final boss, which is amazing, by the way. And then there are a few other ones, but, like, I really like the ostrich, and, like, you can barely use that, you know? Like, I guess if you're just normally traversing the map, but they almost never used it again. That was really sad. The zebra was also just super contextual. So, you know, it's not like the game was bad by any means. I just felt a little bit underwhelmed by it. But, you know, it was fine. It's vanilla ice cream. You know, it's good, but, like, there's better options, in my opinion. But yeah. Next up is The Wonderful 101. I started this at the beginning of the year, I'm pretty sure. But it took me a few months, just because, again, I was playing so many other games that I had to step away, and then I eventually came back and finished it. It's amazing. I really do love that game. Obviously, you're meant to play it over and over again, and that's the one thing about the game is, like, yeah, that would be fun, but I've also got so many other games to replay that, like, it's kind of hard because each sequence takes like 30 to 60 minutes, and then there's however many of those in the game. So if I want to rank up in all of them, that's a lot of time to dedicate. So, it's probably something I'll replay down the line. But in the meantime, it's just was a great first experience. And then, yeah, maybe I'll come back to it later as well. I did play it on the Wii U, which was fun. I was debating whether I wanted to get it on the Switch or the original, release. But I ended up going with the Wii U, and I'm glad I did because I played the demo on the Switch, and that mini screen was, I just found it really annoying. So I'm glad that I played the version which didn't have that issue, which you just had the gamepad. Now, I didn't draw on the gamepad. I tried, but it was just faster to use the right stick. But yeah, nevertheless, I think the Wii U release is just kind of better in that sense. But who knows? I didn't play the full game on Switch, so maybe I'm not the best authority on that, but that's just my opinion. Next up was Metroid Prime. I played this in preparation for Prime 4 because I do still intend on playing that. And I was really excited because I began it several years ago. And over the years, I've tried it. I tried it like 2 or 3 times, but this was the first time I actually sat down and properly gave it a chance. And yeah, it's amazing. I love Metroid Prime. It is like the quintessential 3D Metroid experience, in my opinion. I played it on the Trilogy, so with the Wii pointer controls. And yeah, as soon as you get like a comfortable setup with that, it's pretty fun. It doesn't do anything crazy outside of the Metroid formula. Probably the Phazon Mines is the exception to that, where like you just have this really long corridor with no save points, and it's really nerve-wracking. And then also there's a couple points where it's like you're supposed to backtrack, but you don't know you're supposed to backtrack because, the Phazon Mines is so linear. And, you're just kind of stuck until, like, the guide tells you, like, you need to be going somewhere else. So that was the only kind of problem with it, I suppose. And also that one boss at the end of the Phazon Mines. That was scary, not because, like, it was the most difficult boss, but because you're low on health at that point. And, like, if you die, then, like, you just lose, like, 45 minutes of progress. It was, it was pretty terrifying in that sense. But yeah, I had a great time with this game. But I immediately ended up playing Metroid Prime 2 Corruption after that. And I might like it a little bit more. I don't know. It's really hard to tell because they are somewhat different experiences. Metroid Prime definitely has like the kind of sad atmosphere of like this planet that was once full of like a full civilization, and then like it just went extinct because of these Metroids and the Phazon and whatnot. And it definitely is a bit more of a quiet atmosphere, where Metroid Prime 2 doesn't quite have that because you know that everyone's in hibernation. You have this war story, which I can kind of see it, but also the Ing, like, I don't know, like, maybe it's just me. I found them kind of easy as enemies, and so I'm like, really, like, an entire planet, like, died to these guys, like, I don't know, like, you died of spiders, guys, like, what are we doing here? Obviously, the part where you have to go into the Dark World to get your suit parts back, that was really interesting. I don't think I'd want to have that gimmick come back just because it was kind of annoying to have that constantly draining health. On the flip side, getting that light suit was amazing. Yeah, so it really does a good job of making you feel powerful again once you build back your arsenal. And yeah, it's just a great time all around. The factory really came out of nowhere. That was probably one of the most memorable spots I've played in any Metroid game, because, like, I don't know, there's something eerie about going into the Dark World and then you steal, like, the light source back, and then, like, the entire world is just like falling apart, and you're going through like these old like ruins of this dark factory, and it really is really good at setting an atmosphere. And yeah, it's great. And also I found the fetch quest less annoying this time, because you can kind of find the stuff ahead of time, even more so than the first game. But still, like, yeah, it's just a great game all around. I really did enjoy my time with it. Next up will be Prime 3 Corruption. What was Prime 2? Prime 2 was Echoes. Prime 3 is Corruption, so I'm going to play that next. Really excited to do so. Apparently, like, you're planet hopping in that one, so yeah, that's going to be a fun time, I think. And I can't wait to play that before I play Metroid Prime 4. And it's going to be a fun time. The one thing about this game, though, is I found that Metroid Prime in particular is a dangerous formula, because, all right, I think about the game and it's like, yeah, it's pretty good, you know, I guess I'll play some of it today. Once I, like, get on the game and, like, start playing, I enter, like, this trance of, like, all right, I'm going to do this, and now I'm going to go over here and do this, and then I'm going to go over here and do this, and it will be hours later. Like, it's a game where I have to set a timer for myself sometimes, because it's like, all right, I have stuff to do today. But like, one of those days I was playing Prime 2, I got on the game. It was like early afternoon. It was like a Saturday afternoon, right? And then I started playing. I was like, I guess I'll do a few hours today. Like, you know, I intend to be done by like 5 or something, because actually, I'm pretty sure I want to work on a video that day. I entered like this trance, and I distinctly remember it was like when I first entered the factory area. When I came out of that trance, it was like 1 a.m. Like, I don't know what happened. It might have been actually later than that. It was like like half a day I was just like stuck on that game. No intent to stay on the game that long. So obviously there's something about that formula that really clicks with me. And it's really, really fun in the moment. I didn't go for the 100% for those games. But I did get like the second ending in Prime 2. Just because I did feel like I want to get like 80% of stuff. Like that felt like a good number. But yeah, I guess I spent a long time talking about Metroid Prime. Maybe it's a good game. Who knows? Anyway, next up is Mario Party Jamboree. This one's one I actually just kind of got on a whim, because I was having some people over for Thanksgiving. It's like, you know what? I haven't bought a new Mario Party since the 3DS. I played a little bit of Super Mario Party, but that was on a friend's Switch. And yeah, so I never had a Switch Mario Party. And I was like, you know what? Mario Party Jamboree looks pretty fun. So I picked it up. And yeah, it's great. I like all the boards, except kind of Goomba Lagoon is kind of, can skip that one. But even like the mini games like Toad's Factory, the Koopathon, that's really fun. Gonna have to try Bowser's Kaboom Squad. And then, of course, I think there's Paratroopa Flight School, which I haven't tried yet, but maybe I'll try that someday. But yeah, that was really fun. I quickly unlocked all the boards, and yeah, it's just a great time. And it was just really fun to play with friends, because previously the only like good Mario Party game I had was 8, and then like the N64 ones. So yeah, it's just great to have new content to play on that game again. And then finally, Kirby Air Riders. That was a great game to play this year, just to cap off everything. It's kind of interesting because Kirby Air Ride was a game on the GameCube where it's like, you don't really always think about it when you think of GameCube games. But that was a great time when I played it as a kid. And getting that game just out of nowhere on the Switch 2 reveal, like, that's what Sakurai's been working on. That it was a really fun lead up. The Drexy's just like nerding out over all the different details of the game, and I was here for it. Like, I was watching those things just front to back, and yeah, literally the only thing I wish they would have added is the ability to unlock like the original city trial map. I know like it wouldn't support 16 players all that well, but like even just capping it at 8 players or something, yeah, like that would have been like the only thing. Otherwise, like it's everything you could really want. Like, they added new stadium events, they added new city events, they added new racetracks, and brought back the old ones, both for Air Ride and Top Ride. You know, you can now play it online, City Trial online. That's crazy. I had so much fun with that. I played the road trip. It's all right. Like, the latter half is definitely much better than the first half, just because it's so easy. First try, I put it on like hard mode, and like I was just breezing through everything until like the last 2 worlds. And then it finally ramped up on challenge, and like it took me a few tries to clear some stuff. But still, like, it's just such a fun formula. And yeah, I'll probably replay the story mode just to get the true ending at some point. It's just a matter of just finding the time, and also like it's a bit of a mindless activity, so like I'll play it with like a YouTube video on in the background or something. But yeah, it's a great time. It's not an experience I could recommend to everyone. I did have a friend who tried it and just did not mesh with it at all. And I feel like that'll be the case for some people. It seems like the primary audience is people who played it on the GameCube and loved it. But still, like, what a great surprise. That was probably one of my favorite Switch 2 games I played in the first few months. But yeah, it's a great time. And I'll probably be continuing to play it for a while yet. And then also, one thing I want to add just at the end of this is the Pokemon Legends ZA. I started it. I'm going to finish it because, I'll be honest, I'm going to kind of make myself, just because, like, I should give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it gets better, but, like, man, at first I was wondering if, like, did I just, like, outgrow Pokemon, or, like, is the game just really just that boring? Because, like, I thought I would really enjoy this game, because, like, the real-time combat seemed like a fresh idea for this series, and then, you know, you have like the Mega Evolutions, and then you have just Lumio City as an idea. Like, that's pretty cool, like running around a city. And then I played it, and so far, to be fair, I'm about 6 or 7 hours in, I think. You know, I think I'm ranked V or U or something. So yeah, I'm a little ways in. I unlocked the Mega Evolution, and like, I don't know, I just found the combat kind of boring. Like, the strength of the turn-based combat is that, like, you're strategizing, like, what moves you'll do, like, 3 moves from now, you know? And obviously the CPU is an easy opponent, so you don't always have to do that, but, like, that formula is good enough for, like, yeah, you can have some strategic battles there. Whereas now it's like, well, you're just you're spamming the run button when your opponent attacks, and then like you're waiting for your attacks to cool down enough for you to use them again, and so you're just kind of going around your attack wheel by order of like what's your most powerful move, and just kind of like spamming moves and running away until you win. And I just don't find it very engaging, really, as a combat system. And the writing, like, these are not how normal people talk, all right? Like, I go into the city, right? And, like, it never explains why I'm there. And then, like, this girl sees me walk in, and she's like, you should come to the hotel. All right, you should join our organization. Okay. And then a researcher pulls me aside. You should do research tasks for me. Okay. And then, like, I remember this, I think Tawny is her name. She walks me across the city to this cafeteria, and then you see this guy who obviously isn't evil, like, hi, I'm part of this big organization. I am definitely not evil. All right, see you around. You're like, what was the point of that? That's not how, like, that's not what normally happens in a story. And a lot of the interactions, like, I remember at one point there was like this conversation between like your supposed friend group where like you bully like one of the members of your group into like telling like, yeah, I have trouble at home, you know, my parents had expectations for me or whatever. But like they really didn't want to tell you. Like your two other friends were like, yeah, you know, Carno should battle you, and then if he wins, you should tell like your goofy, your wacky backstory. And they clearly like, this is an invasion of privacy. I don't want to do it. But like they're basically peer pressured by the group to tell you, and they're like, isn't that such a wacky story? It's like, this is not how friend groups work. These are not how people work. I'm convinced like the people who wrote this story do not know how people talk. It's crazy. Man, I almost wish I recorded more gameplay so far. Like I recorded the first bit of it, but I wish I had recorded more so I could use more as an example, because like I'd be interested in making a video, but I also don't want to replay the story because like it's just so boring. Like the story is like nothing so far, and I guarantee you what's gonna be is like the mega evolutions are going to run the city through, and like this organization is meant to like harvest the power of Pokemon or whatever, and people don't want the wild zones to interfere with their lives. Like the story is so predictable. And like, again, like the okay, one thing I'm learning that like is a consistent way to get me upset is just bad writing. Bad writing will probably get that out of me. And so not only is the gameplay loop boring, but like the story is just so nothing. Like, man, I can't really think of many good things about the game, honestly. Like, outside of like, it's Pokemon, you know, Pokemon's fun to an extent, but like I haven't really enjoyed my Pokemon experience thoroughly since Sword and Shield, funnily enough. But I even think Arceus was better. I really do. I think that the combat system was more engaging with the aggressive and whatever other style. You know, the story was somewhat compelling. Like, I didn't mind the characters there. The only trouble was that like there were no animations and it looked like you smeared Vaseline on your screen. But like otherwise, like I think it was way better than Legend ZA so far. But anyway, I'm gonna continue the game. Maybe my impressions will change, but I just wanted to record that because yeah, so far I'm not really enjoying my experience with Legend ZA so far, and I hope that changes. But yeah, I felt like this was worth mentioning, and I guess this little note at the end turned into like a whole segment of its own. But still, yeah, that sums up my thoughts on Pokemon Legend ZA so far. And yeah, I guess with that's a wrap on my games I played this year. And I guess it's just kind of fun talking like this and just telling the void what I played, you know, and my basic thoughts on it. And you know, I enjoy doing this every year, so I think I'm gonna continue doing it. And here's to a great 2026. Let's see what my gaming journey has in store for me. So there we go.